Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and
I'm
start.
on.
Okay.
I'm on the play. I'm leading with a
Oh
pawn
wait,
there.
I'm gonna before you in your upkeep, I've got once upon a
Got
time.
effects in
Yeah.
my
Oh,
upkeep. You're oncing. Okay.
wow. So
Okay.
Jesse leads off with Once Upon a Time on Phil's upkeep. As close to a pregame action as you can get.
Yeah, I'm just gonna adjust Phil's board for everybody because it got a little. Oh, I see what happened. He actually pushed his board out of frame. Hold on, let me fix that.
It looks. Oh, well, look. Yeah, there we go. It's probably fine. We'll tell him to move his playmat up. I
Phil,
guess
can
I
you
can.
just push your playmat forward? Yeah, I think that's better. I think he adjusted after we were set up, and
Yeah,
now I think it's okay. Anyway,
it'll do.
yeah,
So yeah, that's a pretty awesome way to start off the night. Just fire off a free spell.
yeah.
No restrictions.
Is it weird to before your opponent ever? Whoops, I knocked over my phone. Ever
For
cast anything in the game to Once Upon a Time during upkeep? But it's not weird here because it's open decklist, right?
Yeah, I mean, he could have seen it coming. I don't think it really changes anything, but it's a great start for Jesse, obviously, and I think he wants to fire that off before he gets met by some kind of, I don't know. Phil could have easily held up blue mana and just passed if he didn't ponder and get spell pierce, and maybe Jesse can't find a land, or who knows what he. I didn't see what he grabbed off Once Upon a Time, but yeah. So he just plays a Bayou to start off and passes the turn.
What's up, Raced? Yes, I remember Flash died before your first main phase. I don't know if those were the good old days or the bad old days, but those were days.
Mixture of both. Ooh, turn two counterbalance. That's exactly where Miracles wants to be. Let me look at his list. Seems pretty standard to me. So his Entreat is his win condition, and Phil loves him some Mystic Sanctuary, so we're obviously going to see that tonight. Trade routes in the sideboard. That's pretty cool. Seems really good at Miracles.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, so he's not on like Mentor or any of those enchantments that turn into creatures. Seems pretty stock to me.
This is true.
I think
What's
he
up?
said he named Nymph.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think they said the Dryad was errata to being Nymph and Dryad, but either way, he's
Really?
naming Nymph.
Interesting. Dark Quarterer, what's up, Evan? I won't reveal if there is any
What's up,
Doomsday
Evan?
tonight yet, but this round there's no Doomsday.
Yeah, you can see the deck list if you like, with the cardboard live overlay.
Yep.
Just pretty sweet.
Dryad of the Elysian Grove. I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Elysian, I don't know. Just reminds me of that Megadeth song, Elysian Fields.
I don't
Sure,
think this is going to be a counterbalance.
somebody in chat will know. Counterbalance for 3? No.
No. I don't think there are many threes in his deck.
Triad was originally a nymph. I believe it still is a nymph, but it may have been errata to nymph Dryad or something. Let's check Gatherer.
Yeah, please do. I'm very curious.
I'm not so curious, but it's definitely interesting and important. It has been errata to nymph Dryad. Yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah, I mean it's just silly that it's called Dryad of blah blah blah, but it's not a Dryad. Makes no sense.
This is true. Well, now it's bounced.
Yep.
Are there any other creatures that have like a creature type in their name, but they're not that type?
Um,
I thought of one. I thought of one.
I'm racking my brains, but
You ready for mine?
sure, go for it.
Witch Hunter. It's not a witch.
I feel like there's like a ton of them.
Yeah,
especially
probably.
the older
one
ones.
That's just the one I thought of. That just immediately popped in my head.
I mean, it works. I'm trying to think of other ones too, but it's not on the bingo card, so I'm not going to focus too much energy on that.
Yeah, if it's not on the bingo card, it's not even worth thinking about for sure.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if we've hit anything. Well, we hit. No, we didn't.
Well, we hit card printer in the 90s.
Card is banned in standard to Fairy.
Oh, you're right. We did. That was fast.
Well, it just happened. If this stream was last week's stream, then we might not have hit it.
That's true. We planned these streams perfectly.
I mean, technically, all of these cards are banned in standard besides Basic Forest, so
Yeah.
I know what you meant, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
Phil's
being
firing
legal
off,
and banned are two different things, right?
Right. That's true. That's true. Snapcaster for Ponder. I guess he's just getting a value Snapcaster here, which seems fine. He's not under any kind of pressure right now. I don't think.
I mean,
I guess the Dryad is kind of threatening.
somewhat, yeah, but with Miracles having more permanence on the board than Titan, does that mean Titan's in bad shape?
I think Titan just needs to find as many lands as possible before this Dryad either gets bounced again or dies. What else could they? I mean, they could go. Jesse can go for the Shifting Ceratops route and just try to. I mean, it can be Terminus, but it'll, at least it'll get into play and maybe have haste.
Yeah. There's also the Blast Zone route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems good on 2 right now, but then doesn't really deal with the Fairy. I like the Shifting Ceratops route only because it's a dinosaur. There you go.
Oh, there he is.
He takes my line. Can't be countered, so this Phil can. Yeah, I guess he's not even gonna give any info with the counterbalance.
Haste.
Yeah, hasty boy.
Does he attack Teferi here?
I think so.
I guess so, right?
Yeah, force the block.
Oh, maybe attack Teferi with the Dryad?
He's doing the other way around. He wants to
okay.
guarantee a kill, I guess.
It's not trample unless you pay, so it could just chump to let Teferi survive. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think he could have just attacked both at Teferi.
Yeah. Alright, Teferi down.
Yeah, so Phil's just ignoring this attack, and he's taking the 2 damage, and Teferi down. Oh yeah, it can't be blocked, you're right.
Oh, that's right, yep. I didn't know what my favorite card does.
I had just looked at it for the first time now, but I see that not only can it not be countered, which I did read, but I didn't see the pro blue part, which is pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. As you have told me. Yeah. I've brainwashed the entire 90s MTG audience, Jeremy. I don't know if you realize this. That Shifting Ceratops is the best green creature in all of Magic.
It's pretty good. I can't say I've seen it much, but it looks like it's going to start getting more play. What else do you think would be a good follow-up here for Jesse? I think he needs Titan as ASAP.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Phil's holding up like 5 counterspells, so.
Well, is the Cavern of Souls definitely naming Dryad? Do you know that for a fact? Oh, it is. Okay. Well,
I was listening to them and they were talking. That's where the whole Nymph Dryad thing came up.
Gotcha.
But he named Dryad, which works fine. So he's casting Priest of Titania. Gets a land back from his graveyard. Landfall triggers. I think Phil's deciding whether this is worth fighting over or not. So I think it's resolving because he says with the Titania trigger on the stack, cast Brainstorm. So it does resolve, but we're trying to see. Okay, so that makes sense. He fires off a Terminus, and this looks like it's going to be a sweep here. Terminus is good.
Was there anything to not playing any more creatures for Jesse in case of Terminus, and just kind of holding some for backup?
I think if you just let things happen, like if he cast that on first main phase, right? Maybe he attacks first, I guess.
Right. Did he? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I don't think he attacked. Otherwise,
well, that's what you want to do if you're Miracles, right? Terminus and then Jace.
Pretty much, it's a 1-2 punch.
Can't correct as that.
Trying to think what Jesse's best line is here.
You know how many cards he has in hand?
I don't, but I'll see if they mention anything.
Yep.
He's got the Blast Zone on 1. I think he needs to start ticking that up. I don't think the counterbalance is that important, but it's definitely a consideration for him.
Yeah. It'll eat an Abrupt Decay at some point, I'm sure. Chalice on 1.
That seems totally fine with everything that's going on this side. But it eats a Force of Negation.
Pitching Portent.
Chalice gone. So Phil's got 2 cards in hand. So maybe that was bait for... Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 5. I don't think he's played a land either.
I don't remember. I don't think so, though.
Two mana, 3 mana, maybe Green Sun's here. Nymph. He's just going for the thing that can't be countered.
Yep, that makes sense. Is Jace going to bounce it?
Likely so. I mean... Oh. Okay. So
how do you know that was there?
He Jace
Brainstormed. He Jace Brainstormed, that's right. Yep. Totally forgot about that.
He just knew. He just said it, and if it was, it was, and if it wasn't, then well, screw it.
Yeah. You know, like the Miracles players have that body language or whatever. It was like, I knew this card was there.
It was like when
Seal.
Phil played. What did he do? He paid 8 life in the blind for Sylvan Library. I thought that was the most baller thing ever on this stream.
Yeah. That was pretty baller, actually.
Alright, so now he's getting Fate Sealed, but Field of the Dead, kind of annoying for Miracles? I don't know. If Jesse can land 1 or 2 more threats, then maybe, but otherwise Jace is just gonna start bouncing stuff.
Does he have any creatures that have Hexproof or anything? I don't think so, right?
Well,
no.
I don't think so, but the Shifting Ceratops is kind of a little bit harder to deal with for Phil. I mean, he's got Unexpectedly Absent, he's got Swords, and he's got Terminus. But
I guess on Seer, you also don't want to be bouncing that too much, too.
No, you want to... Yeah, you don't want to bounce that. Yeah, I think Thought Knot would actually be pretty good since Phil's at... Well, he was at 2 cards.
Yeah.
I think he bottomed that Field of the Dead, right? Because otherwise Jesse would have played it.
He did, yeah, he did.
Okay. Seems like a good call.
Yeah, he has 7 types. That would have got out of hand fast. It basically becomes like a Liliana ultimate. Centaur. He lets him keep the Courser. Alright, so he puts... Is it 3 counters on it? Yep.
Yep.
Blast Zone's ready to detonate now. Maybe it was better to wait. We also don't know what's in Jesse's hand. He can sequence things very carefully, but we have no information about the context of his...
He's just going for the Blast Zone here.
Yep.
And I think that's just going to do it for Jace, right? Because no Stifle.
Yeah, Jace is down, and Courser's down.
Courser seems great.
It does.
Maybe we can hit Sorcery on top of Library. I feel like we probably hit that already with Terminus, actually.
Oh, did we?
Well, yeah, because we knew he drew the Terminus, but we only knew it when it was in his hand, though.
Yeah, that's a cavern on top of the library, right?
Yeah. I think it should be something like this, where we actually see the sorcery. I think only Phil.
Yeah, because he's revealing a drawn card. I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah.
Except, I mean, unless there's a counterbalance trigger, then that'll do it.
Right. Exactly.
That altered sword is pretty cool. I never was a huge fan of that art, but that altar is actually pretty sweet.
There's a
Cavern.
Cavern. What is
Titan. Cavern
Titan.
naming Titan. Seems correct.
The Valakut's funny looking. Is that a circle protection white under there?
Looks like it. Is that the Ice Age art? No.
I think it's like 5th edition.
5th edition?
Or something.
Yeah, the Ice Age art was a hockey puck one. That's right. I just looked it up. That was my jam.
Ooh, Green Sun for 6 or 7?
Counterbalance trigger on 6.
Not sure what
He's
the
gonna
CMC is.
He's gonna spell pierce the Green Sun's unit. I think he was just looking for Terminus on top. Because that would have countered it. It's pretty funny.
Alright, Teferi's back. Nothing to bounce. Bounces counterbalance. Okay.
Yeah, he bounces his own counterbalance. Seems fine. He can just recast it. He chooses not to replay the counterbalance. I guess at this point he just doesn't really care about countering Jesse's spells. Would rather just remove them.
Maybe he wanted a blue card in hand for force.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of a tell, right? Like if he's not. Well, wait. Does that make sense though?
I mean, he could hard cast force at the moment, but.
Yeah, maybe he just wants options.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he's...
I probably would have played out the counterbalance there, but I'm not a Miracles player, so I'm sure Phil's like Galaxy Brain right now. I guess he sees all these caverns, like counterbalance is kind of useless.
True.
He names Eldrazi.
Oh, here comes
he's got Eldrazi, Nymph, and Titan. Or sorry, Eldrazi, Dryad, Titan.
For brainstorms.
Just trying to think what counterbalance could even catch. I mean,
not this.
X equals 6. Yep,
right.
force
pitch
counterbalance.
Yep. All right. So we were sort of right.
Is there a reason why he's not cracking those fetches? I guess he's just saving them for brainstorms that he's going to draw.
Well, he does save his fetches for Mystic Sanctuaries. I know that.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
So maybe he thinks those fetches are just too valuable to just crack to hardcast force.
I think so. It probably makes sense. The counterbalance isn't really doing anything.
All right. An uncounterable Titania is this?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't. It's an elemental, so it's counterable. He hard casts force now.
Okay. Trubitsky, thanks for the sub. What's up, Trubitsky? How are you? Okay, back to Phil's turn now. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Phil's just playing off the top of his deck right now, but that force kind of was dead in the face of all those caverns, but the one threat he drew was counterable.
Yeah.
Would have been pretty good if it landed. So I think Titan is in a good place here. So Teferi is about to get decayed.
Yeah, that was an abrupt decay. Sorry, it was
Yep.
off camera. Off screen. A fetch. Let me know if you get a life total.
Yeah. I don't think they've really mentioned it. Mystic Sanctuary gets Brainstorm back. Seems good. Where's the spice at today, Phil? His altars. That's the spice for you.
There's some spicy cards in the sideboard.
Yeah, trade routes.
He's gonna check the VOD tomorrow at a civilized time. It's probably like what time is it? 2 a.m. in Germany right now.
Casting the Brainstorm off the Mystic Sanctuary that just grabbed the Brainstorm. What's up? So Jesse just passes turn right back to Phil. That's not good for Titan.
I mean, yeah, it's not like he has reactive spells in his deck, really.
Does he have Sylvan main?
I don't believe so.
Or in the deck at all? He doesn't have it at all.
No, not at all.
I guess Once Upon a Time would be live. Thought Not would be good. Even Ooze would be good at this point.
Portent.
I guess there's a bunch of Green Suns in his deck too, right? I don't think any
Yeah.
of them got Force of Negation out. Just the Chalice.
This is true.
How did the Dryad get removed from game? Swords, I guess?
Um.
Or that's Courser, sorry, yeah, Courser.
Yeah. I
Probably
think
got
that's
Swords. Abeyance in board. I don't think so. Nope. He's got a mountain, some number of basic mountains in the sideboard, though.
Yeah, Phil, right? All right.
So that's the Eldrazi Cavern.
Thought not.
It's got Thought Knot, right? That resolves. So with the trigger on the stack, it gets swords. So he's going to draw a card, but then it's going to get Snapcaster. So he gets to target Brainstorm here, and then Jesse will get rid of probably some useless card. I don't know. A lot of crazy sequencing here.
Force swords.
Yeah, swords easily.
Yep.
Forces, I mean, they've done some work this game, surprisingly, but I think there's a point of diminishing returns here with all these caverns.
Yep.
I think he's actually at 19. I heard he was at 21 at some point.
Okay.
Jesse just passes. He must be drawing a bunch of lands.
Snapcaster gonna win this game.
I mean, that's generally how Miracles wins.
Yeah, I thought he gained life off sword. Let's get a life total check.
Yeah.
in the next upkeep, but I'm looking at your top three. I can put them back in any order, or I can shuffle the deck. So ideally, what I wanted to do was play the most difficult card possible via streaming.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna reveal them. I'm not gonna look, and then you just tell me.
Yep.
This is number 1.
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
This is number 2.
Yep.
This is number 3.
Okay. So you can put 1, 2, and 3 back exactly as they were.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
Okay.
In your upkeep, I'm going to draw a card.
Sure.
You want to ask them about life totals?
Yeah, I was just letting everybody hear their talk there. What are life totals for you guys?
I'm at 19 and Phil's at 14.
All right, thanks.
So yeah, I guess that 19 I heard before was actually updated.
Yep. All right, all good.
So did he scratch out the border on that Dryad Arbor? Looks like it.
Yeah, he has like some weird white border cards that aren't supposed to be white border. I don't know how people do that. I've never done that.
You can get like an eraser and just remove the black ink.
Gotcha. Sounds like a lot of work.
It most certainly is. Any of those those are like the bleached cards, the ones that look very white or like no colors. Those take a lot of time. Like you just gotta put them in the sun for like weeks. Yeah. Jason pointing out acetone and Q-tip can work too. I have done that to make proxies.
So I see Poing in the chat saying they whiteboarded Dredge for maximum tilt. Are people whiteboarding their cards for tilt, or are they doing it because they think it looks cool?
Did you whiteboarder some Bizarre Baghdad's, or is it Legacy Dredge? That would be max tilt right there.
Yeah.
All right, he's got uncounterable Dryad. We know his next card is Dryad as well.
You whiteboard a deck to give you no choice and to learn it. Whiteboard are LEDs. True. Should Magic bring back whiteboarded cards?
So the Valakut trigger on the stack is targeting Jace right now.
Oh,
should Magic bring back whiteboarded cards? Do they print whiteboarded cards anymore?
No, they don't.
Everything's just the same, right?
I think it was 10th edition or 9th edition was the last whiteboarded set.
I wasn't a huge fan of whiteboarders. I understand why they did it. I also wasn't a fan of them going back to black borders, except for newly printed cards. But yeah, depends on what you're going for with your deck, I guess. Wow, he's unexpectedly absenting Jace right back to the top of his deck.
That's funny.
That's maximum tilt right there. Old Frame Master said at some point, they said it's actually really hard for them to get the old borders back for some reason. Find it hard to believe. Or maybe they meant, I don't know, I read some thread on Twitter where it was like, they had been considering it, but it would take a lot of work to get the original high-res old bordered foils or whatever it was. Does he even face seal the other Dryad away? I don't think it does anything, right?
Not sure. Ooh, Field of the Dead. Zombie.
Oh, he must have got a shuffle trigger against Valakut. Oh no, it doesn't have a shuffle. What shuffle does that? I missed that.
I think we just missed a turn. Not sure.
Yeah, that could have been the second Dryad.
Yeah. They're moving quite fast right now, and trying to talk about white borders got me a little lost for a moment.
I mean, we're watching Miracles versus a lot of lands being played, so it's just miracles essentially. Yep. I'm sad that Top died for the sins of Miracle, honestly.
Phil has Entreat and Sanctuary. This is true.
Decking seems unlikely. What would be the best new frame card in Old Border for the first time? Deathrite Shaman. Don't at me.
What would mine be? Snapcaster Mage. I would love a Snapcaster Mage for Old Border.
That'd be cool.
Would be.
Lodestone? Yeah, that seems sweet too.
Lay of Old, yeah. Zombie token bingo slot. Yes.
How about enemy fetch lands?
Enemy fetch lands. Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's a bunch of Instagram accounts that do like exactly what we're talking about. They make
yeah, I've seen that.
Renders of that stuff. It's really cool.
It is really cool. They do a really good job with the wordings too.
Yeah, some of them are a little like lengthy, but
yeah,
makes sense. Ren and 6, that's uber tilt. Love Ren and 6.
Chat, if you have a favorite Instagram just about Magic in general, share it in the chat. I want to check it out. And don't put your own. This is not a self-promote opportunity.
Well, what if they have the hottest Instagram of all time?
Well, then they got to pick somebody else.
Hey, I had just posted on my Instagram about this exact scenario. I just picked up this Old Bordered new card.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that card is sick. It's in my cube right now. I don't want to dig it out.
Let me know if you hear live totals. Kind of lost track again.
All I heard was play a land trigger, and I'm sorry, it's really tough right now. I think some of the planeswalkers would be cool looking with Old Border, but I don't know how that would work. Let me listen for life totals. Still's got 7 cards in hand, so...
I've seen zombies attack a bunch, so...
Oh, responding to Dark Borderer, I believe they said it was actually really hard to do those things, and they were one-off cards, so it's not the end of the world for them to make some Old Bordered foils, but they said it was a pain in the butt to do it for whatever reason. I don't know why. I can look it up, but it was kind of disappointing because I'm a fan of Old Borders, and I'm not a big collector of foils, so it's definitely something I looked into.
I think Phil just won off the Entreat.
Entreat, yeah.
Monk is here. He says a bingo spot for discussing another game should be there next week.
So, about Hearthstone.
Yeah. Oh, they're started. My bad. Try it, Arbor. He put an instant on top. I'm going to take your word for it. I think sometimes people in chat lie to us and tell us things happened that didn't happen. What do you think, Jeremy?
I'm pretty sure he put an instant on top. Yeah.
People are scheming on us for this bingo card. Didn't he buy back Brainstorm and then cast it? Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I remember that. Spell player controls human. Maybe when Titania was in play. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see the instant on top of Library Square. I only saw the sorcery on top. Yeah, Brainstorm definitely was on top. And we saw him grab it with Mystic Sanctuary. So that's for real.
Yep. Chalice on 1.
And he takes 1.
Unopened pack of Jihad. Wow.
Huh.
We spent a lot of time. It's whenever you're on stream, Jeremy, because you appreciate the old CCGs. We always end up talking about old games.
We certainly do.
And just the other day, was it Roland, I think, shared an Inquest, and it was like a PDF of an Inquest. Did you see that?
I've seen people upload them. They're so awesome. I'm glad that people scan them and stuff.
Way too much time scrolling through it. It just
brings back so many memories.
Yeah. And I remember like the exact magazine that it was. I happened to own back at the time, and I remember reading it, and like everything that was in there I read before, but it was like 25 years ago. It's just weird.
Yeah, I also feel like I had read them so many times. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I used to read it like it was my homework.
Through it. Yeah. Much better than homework.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I only have one issue of Inquest left, and it's seen better days for sure.
I'm sure I have a bunch, but I don't know where they are. They're like stowed away somewhere. Well, I'll never.
Chat was talking about starting a print magazine in 2020. It was just like, nah.
Yeah, Leon said he's printing a new magazine.
I think he was the one that was like, I don't know, that seems ambitious.
Yeah, I think it's his job now. I think it's his responsibility.
Caverns on Elemental and Priests of Titania, is that it? Comes into play?
No, it's Titania Protector of something.
Titania Protector of Argoth. Yeah. It was Titania something.
Yeah.
Something.
Roland is here. Roland MTG. Roland is playing next round.
Excited for that. It's going to probably... My guess is Delver. I haven't seen the list yet, but... What else would he be on? I guess he could be on Red Prison.
Roland has... And this is not a reveal of anything, because his deck list is unknown at this time to everyone. But he has a new Legacy deck.
Oh.
I'll say that.
That sounds spicy.
Is he playing it tonight, though? I won't say. But he has a new one. Roland's on Doomsday, someone says. Oh, that's Evan. Back to basics. Ouch. Ouch.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Thorn and Chalice out, so it's not the end of the world, but... So he gets a token for...
Oh, does he have 7 types now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No, that
6.
he got a token from Titania from fetching. It's a 5/3.
Oh, it's a 5/3 elemental token.
Yes, it is.
Let's see if it blocks. All right, he's attacking for what, 10?
Mm-hmm. Puts him to 6.
Gotcha. I missed 2 damage somehow.
That's a cool looking back to basics altar.
It is. Is back to basics in Double Masters?
Everything's in Double Masters, bro. Black Lotus is.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it is. Because everything is.
It's a fairy. Does that do anything?
I don't know.
Makes things difficult. You gotta bounce the Thorn here, right? Oh, the Titania?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when Back to Basics was $100, I almost got rid of mine because I was like, you know what? If somebody wants to pay me $100, I'll just stop playing this card.
Fun fact, I traded 2 of them as part of a trade for a Time Twister, so I did definitely capitalize off Back to Basics back then.
Nice.
I mean, obviously it was the smallest part of the trade, but it was just like the icing on top for them. I basically threw it in like, you know what, these are kind of worth a lot now, but throw it in.
Spyglass. Was he named Teferi here?
When you're trading for power, you kind of have to. Your whole binder is open for them.
This is true.
They're like, yeah, I'll take those B2Bs. I'll take some duels.
Let me know if you hear what he names.
Yeah, he's thinking.
And Phil's at 1, right?
I believe so. He names Jace.
Interesting. Yeah, I think naming Jace works. Passes the turn, and I guess this thing is going to get swords.
No, there's a chalice out.
Oh, that's right. Damn.
He needs to chump with Snapcaster.
Zombie.
Zamboni. Oh, the snow covered counts for a different type.
What's that?
The Snapcaster just came in and chumped.
Oh, yeah.
He just needs to stick one more threat here. Takes 2. Chalice on 2.
Pretty good.
Snapcaster in response.
Yep.
Chalice is good.
I think Jesse got it.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless he gets a Terminus here.
Yeah, that would be pretty insane.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah,
sounds good.
If you want to play next week, you're definitely in.
I gotta revise my deck, bro. I haven't looked at Legacy in a little while.
Cool.
Oh, here's another Once Upon a Time.
Once upon
Good
a
night,
time.
Tobitsky. It's late.
Yeah, for real.
He grabs Primeval Titan off Once Upon a Time.
Actually, for people that are subscribed to us on YouTube, Jason's talking about the Reanimator versus Test match from last week. That was like our highest liked and watched video this past week on YouTube. So
people
check it
like
out.
to see Magic cards do broken stuff, man.
Yeah. That was a hot video. So if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you check from roughly 4 or 5 days ago the Reanimator versus Test matchup. It was awesome. It was the finals of last.
Have you played either of those decks before?
As the deck, I played Reanimator a ton, but never Storm. What about you?
I played Reanimator, but I have not played much Storm. I played Storm just to like test it out. I've pretty much tested out all the meta decks just to get a feel of like what the pilot is thinking, but not much time with Storm. It's a little too linear for me, although I know it's like actually really complex and a lot of the decisions are a lot harder than it might seem. But it seems like you're pretty much on your A game plan no matter what the opponent's doing for the most part. So it's kind of like Reanimator. Like you just kind of ignore the opponent's deck and you do your own thing, really.
Yeah. I got to the point, I'm not going to like tutor anybody on how to play Reanimator. I'm sure there are people that are much better than I am, but I got so good with Reanimator at one point because I was playing it so much that I played it like you're saying you don't interact with your opponent, but I started playing it in a way that I was interacting with my opponent way more, like purposely like thought seizing their Delvers and reanimating them and like weird stuff like that you don't think about when you first pick up the deck.
Yeah, I've definitely it really depends on what your opponent's doing, I guess. I was definitely oversimplifying things. I mostly thinking about it from Storm's perspective, because
Yeah,
Storm can
for sure.
still interact with the opponent, but as far as Reanimator goes, I would be more proactive and just try to, because you can get a lot more free game ones than you can trying to like reanimate a Delver game one. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And Delver does have a really good matchup against Reanimator. They have a clock and they have counterspells, so
yeah,
it's really depends on the deck. If we're talking like if we're talking like Death Shadow, it's another story, right? Because they also have play reanimates in their deck as well. So you got to like play around that.
yeah.
It's different mulligan decisions you have to make.
Yeah, I mean, I guess where my mind was going with what we're talking about right now is when I played Reanimator, I felt almost self-conscious in a way, and this might just be me, but I felt self-conscious that people thought like I was a scrub that just like picked up the Reanimator and thought I could like get people with it. But I was actually really good at playing Reanimator, you know what I mean? So I felt like, yeah, screw you, I'm reanimating your Delver. Bet you didn't see that coming, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I was like
Yeah, because
happy to be a skilled Reanimator player.
they're gonna board out all their bolts. So
Yeah, exactly. But there's just little things like that. You could actually master Reanimator decks, you know.
yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
I mean, I've definitely been that player that just brought Reanimator because I didn't know what I was doing and like still played it wrong or like and still won, you know, and people get really salty, but it's like whatever.
Yeah.
You got to learn somehow, and I'd rather bring it to sanctioned events than just playing on the, kitchen countertop all the time.
Yeah.
So,
and you get people that kind of you'll have a game one where you're on the play and you'll Chancellor and then you'll Ritual and eventually you end up with a Gristlebrand in play and do the whole thing and they're dead before they even take a turn and you can sense that they're salty about it. And it's like, well, I mean, this is what we're doing, right? We're playing Legacy, so I mean
you have to expect it, right?
Yeah, like if you didn't run Force of Will in your deck, I'm sorry.
It was a choice that you made.
Yeah, that's the choice that you made, not me.
Yeah, people get salty about that.
Yeah.
I always felt the Reanimator mirror was like so skill intensive though, and just like over my head anyway. But
Reanimator what?
The mirror, like when you're playing against...
the mirror. Yeah, the mirror is a pain in the butt. I didn't enjoy that.
I mean, it's whoever draws Coffin Purge. I don't know what the tech is these days, but it's whoever draws their Reanimate spell first or Coffin Purge first before getting Thought Seized away or Cabal Therapied away.
Yeah, Jason makes a good point. There's a lot of non-games versus Reanimator versus Delver as well.
Mm-hmm.
Snap.
Oh, I hate that feeling when after you lose your Wooden into day 2, your opponent drops and leaves. I've had that happen to me before. It's so tilting. Yeah, you can attune the Coffin Purge. That's why it's run in the sideboard over any other card, I guess. So there's like a Valakut trigger happening and a Field of the Dead trigger happening. Phil's at 16.
Thank you.
There's another Thorn getting cast right now.
Ouch.
Yeah, that just seems pretty good for Jesse. But Miracles does have a lot of answers to stuff for sure.
Doesn't have a lot of time though.
He's got a brainstorm. Cast Brainstorm for 3 mana. Which is probably how much the card should cost.
Yeah.
Tarn and pass.
Oh, right. Valakut with Dryad. I was thinking, like, wait, how did he deal damage? But, yeah. Right? Because he bolted him with a Valakut? Is that right?
I think he had 1 trigger, yeah.
Okay.
Dark Blast, that's awesome.
Yeah. My favorite, and this is not necessarily against Reanimator, but my favorite thing to do with Reanimator, well, actually two things. A card that, and this was like when people started playing it, I started running Stronghold Gambit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that one.
That was a neat trick that people didn't see coming at the time. Now people are like, yeah, you play around that, but and I did the Lake of the Dead Grave Titan thing a few times, and people were just not prepared for that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
I used to read all Eric Landon's stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Really good player.
Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, I think whatever deck I was playing at the time, I got the list from him or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, guys. Okay, you can resume. Thanks. All set. All right, text with Zombie.
He's at 14 now.
Cool. Titania. Yeah, he phased back in.
Mm-hmm. Force pitching Snapcaster here.
Cool.
He's got to pay 2 for the Thorns. That's 2 forces pitching to... No, 1 force got pitched. Lots of counters flying back and forth.
Did Jesse lose 2 life there? I guess he did, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Agent 2. What do you think of this match right now? Does Jesse have it?
I think so, but I mean, Miracles could top deck
Any number of things.
Yeah. So he eats the Priest of Titania and Phil goes to 8. Yeah, Caverns on Titan and I believe Elemental.
Yes, Ooze attacks. Thank you. We're getting there. Hitting some bingos. A little bit of lag on Jesse's side. Oh, it's Primeval Titan. He's just dumping all the creatures out there.
Prime time and 2 zombie triggers.
Yep.
Oh, he scoops to that.
Scoops.
Scoops.
All right, let's check in with these players.